It's up underneath.
As we now read.
Yeah, that one works.
Don't focus on me yet. Okay. It's all good in divine working.
No, it's the other one that works. The other one works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
No, that might be next time. Mental note. And in the program, as I go on, you will understand the significance of lighting a candle. In some traditions, the smoke that goes up, it's our prayers going up to heaven, that our prayers may be heard from infinite intelligence, that the souls that may be lost in wandering may find the light to those higher realms. I translated the prayer from Allan Kardec's book, The Spirit. And so, may be worthy, infinite intelligence, my God, to receive favorably this prayer that I offered on behalf of the spirits of my loved ones, to see glimpses of your divine light, and that their path of eternal happiness be easy. Allow the good spirits to convey my words and my thoughts. You who were my loved ones here in the material world, hear my voice that calls unto you to express my affection. God, infinite intelligence, has allowed you to be the first to be free. I could not complain without selfishness, because it would be to wish you the sorrows of this life. I await with resignation the moment of our reunion in that happier place, the Summerlands. I know that our separation is momentary, and however long it may seem, the duration is erased before the eternal happiness which God promises his children. That his kindness may preserve me from doing anything that would delay the desired moment, to spare me in this way the pain of not encountering upon leaving my earthly life. Oh, how sweet and comforting is the certainty that there is only a material veil between us that obscures you from my sight, that you could be here by my side, see me and hear me like other times and better than before. That you do not forget me, as I also will not forget you, but our thoughts may cease to be confused, that your words always follows me and supports me. May the peace of infinite intelligence, God, be with you. Do you want to do it?
Yep.
You got it?
I've got it.
And so, one of the traditions, and we jump a little ahead here, is back in the day, during Halloween, the children would go around with doing what is known as souling. And of course, so that they would go to the homes of the riches and basically beg for food in exchange for prayers for the loved ones, and that's what the soul bread represents. A syncretism of Halloween, All Souls Day, and All Saints, and a syncretism of Halloween, All Saints Day, and All Souls Day, historical meaning and spiritual traditions. When most people think of Halloween, they picture costumes, candies, and maybe a spooky movie marathon. But beyond the surface, fun level, Halloween holds deep spiritual roots that go back thousands of years. It is more than just a night to dress up. It is a day filled with ancient traditions, spiritual beliefs, and celebration of the cycle of life and death. Whether you're someone who loves the thrill of Halloween, or someone who enjoys tapping into the energy of the day, there's no denying that this holiday is more about that meets the eye. Beneath the costumes, the jack-o'-lanterns, lies a rich history of spiritual practices, beliefs that have shaped the way we celebrate today. Let us dive into where Halloween came from, where its traditions are so meaningful, and how different cultures view this time of year. So grab your broomstick, or just lay back as we explore the spiritual significance of Halloween. Halloween's origins go back to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, celebrated over 2,000 years ago in what is today Ireland, UK, and France. The Celtics saw this day, October 31st, Halloween, but it was known as All Hallows' Eve, as the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, what they considered to be the darker half of the year. They believed that on this day, the boundaries between the physical world and the spiritual world became thin, allowing the dead to return and walk among the living. This was the time to honor the dead, pay respects to ancestors, and prepare for the cold months ahead. During Samhain, people light bonfires to ward off harmful spirits and wear costumes, usually made from animal skins, to disguise themselves from any wandering ghosts or spirits. Food was left out as an offering to appease the spirits, and households would set up altars with photos and items belonging to their deceased loved ones. The significance of spiritual Samhain. The spiritual aspect of Samhain were not just about fear, though the Celtics also believed that this thinning of the veil allowed them to receive wisdom from the spirit world. It was an opportunity for divination, seeking guidance about the future, particularly regarding the harvest and the survival during the winter months. As Christianity spread, and this goes back to the 16th, 17th, and 1800s, through Europe, the church tried to integrate these pagan traditions into their calendar, which brings us to the next chapter in Halloween's evolution, the influence of Christianity. As Christianity took hold, the Catholic Church established All Saints' Day on November 1st, which was yesterday, to honor saints and martyrs, hoping to replace the pagan festival of Samhain. The night before became known as All Hallows' Eve, eventually shortened to Halloween. But as much as the church tried and many of the old pagan traditions persisted and merged with Christian practices. Subsequently, November 2nd was chosen as All Souls' Day. This day was set aside to pray for the souls of the newly departed, particularly those that were believed to be in purgatory. While Halloween is most widely celebrated in Western cultures, many cultures have their own versions of spiritual festivals centered around honoring the dead. Perhaps the most famous of this is Mexico's Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, a celebration that spans from October 31st to November 2nd. Unlike the spooky, eerie vibes often associated with Halloween, Dia de los Muertos is a bright, colorful celebration of life and family. On this day, families create altars called ofrendas to honor their deceased loved ones, decorating them with candles, marigolds, sugar skulls, and favorite foods of the departed. It's believed that during these days, the spirit of the dead return to the living world to visit their families. The celebration is filled with music, dancing, feasting, as it is a time of joyous remembrance, not mourning. Ancestors' veneration, honoring the so-called dead. During the festival of Samhain, families would prepare altars for their deceased relatives, often adorned with photographs, offering foods, personal items. This act of ancestors' veneration reflected belief that the spirit of the dead return to visit the families. It is a time to honor the memories and the life lessons they have imparted. This belief allowed the communication with the ancestors and spirits, creating a sacred atmosphere where the living could seek guidance and wisdom. Our fifth principle, we affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. All Souls Day, also recognized as a commemoration of the faithful departed and the Day of the Dead, is a holiday of prayer, memorial for the souls who have died. Those honoring All Souls Day's traditions often commemorate departed loved ones in numerous ways on November 2nd. Faith and customs affiliated with All Souls Days range broadly among Christian denominations. The foundation of All Souls Day on November 1st is a general intercession which allows all saints celebrating the feast of all members of the church who were thought to be in heaven. On the next day, November 2nd, All Souls Day, All Souls Days remembers and prayers for those souls suffering in purgatory. All Souls Day is a profound Catholic feast dedicated to honoring and praying for the souls of the dead. All Souls Day focuses on those still undergoing purification, offering a chance for the living to assist through prayers, indulgence. This day, rooted in deep Catholic traditions and centuries of history, reflect the Church's endurance belief in the communication of the saints and the hope for eternal life, visiting the cemeteries and offering foods or gifts. A significant aspect of some traditions of All Souls Day is visiting the graves to honor the dead. In many cultures, families gathered at cemeteries to clean and decorate the gravesites of their ancestors, offering flowers, candies, even small gifts. The practice of bringing foods such as bread or bread of the dead in Mexico and the Philippines. These offerings symbolize the community, ongoing relationship with the departed, reflecting the belief that the dead continue to be a part of the family. A side note, just as we spiritualists attend church to receive greetings from the meetings as proof of the continuity of life after the transition called death. All Hallows Eves, or Halloween. Over the course of history, October 31st evolved from a Catholic holiday that celebrated the changes of season and the harvest to a Christian holiday celebrating dead saints. It's not just a simplistic story of the church authority enforcing a Christianized holiday of a pagan holiday. It is far more complex process involving community, religious systems, and cultural beliefs. So Halloween is a patchwork of traditions with a long and complicated history that's deeply rooted and intertwined with human mythology and religion. During the early days of All Hallows Eve, one important tradition was the act of souling, where the children would go from house to house offering prayers for the souls of the loved ones in exchange for food or bread. As souling became more associated with costumed children, the threat of mischief returned and was renamed guising. Children roamed the countryside and towns asking for treats from homeowners in return for protection from mischief. Post-World War II saw the return of the popularity of guising, which became known as trick-or-treating in the early 1950s. The final name change became Halloween tradition we know today. The significance of lighting candles for souls in purgatory. Lighting candles on All Souls Day holds deep symbolic meaning, particularly for the souls in purgatory. According to the Catholic doctrine, purgatory is a state where souls undergo purification before entering heaven. Lighting candles is believed to represent the hope and the prayer that these souls find peace and are delivered into the eternal light of God. The flickering flames are a visual reminder of the prayers offered for the dead, symbolizing faith, hope, and the promise of eternal life. Our eighth principle. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter. This principle speaks to the possibility of souls that are in the lower vibration dimensions to raise above these low states by accepting responsibility for the actions while here on the earth plane, the school of experiences. While spiritualism does not have prayers other than the healing prayer, other traditions do believe in prayer to help lost, confused, and ignorant spirits find the light and progress spiritually by the prayers offered by their loved ones. Cemeteries. In many parts of the world, glow with candlelights on All Souls Day, creating a serene and reflective atmosphere where the living and the dead are spiritually connected. These traditions of lighting candles transcends borders and is one of the most enduring customs of All Souls Day. All Souls Day is more than just a day of tradition. It is a time of spiritual reflection and deep connection with the souls of the departed. All Souls Day reminds us of the fragility of life and the need to pray for those who have passed on. This day serves as a moment to reflect on the enduring bond between the living and the departed, grounded in love and spiritual support by lighting candles and offering prayers and honoring our loved ones. Embracing some of these traditions that affirm the declarations of principles, not just as a statement, but expressing true, sincere sentiments of what it is to be a true spiritualist. In action, not just mere words. Let us remember that modern American spiritualism is a relatively new religion, only 177 years old, and that most of these spiritual practices go back thousands of years, and many of these practices are reflected in the beliefs, in our beliefs as spiritualists. As we spiritualists express our understanding and honor these religious traditions in a completely different context as stated in the Declaration of Principles. The third principle, we affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion, expressing or having compassion for a fellow man. Our fourth principle, we affirm that the existence and personal identity of the individual continues after the change called death, a belief in the spiritual dimensions for the Summerlands. One of the most notable aspects of Shaolin is the connection to the end of the harvest. At the last fruits of the seasons are gathered, the festival signifies both completion and the impending dormancy of nature. It serves as a reminder of the cycle of nature, of life, where death gives way to rebirth. Our seventh principle. We affirm the moral responsibility of individuals and that we make our own happiness or unhappiness as we obey or disobey nature's physical and spiritual laws. This principle accepting personal responsibility for our actions. Halloween is also a time to think about transformation. Just as the seasons are changing and the natural world is beginning to buy back from winter, Halloween gives us a chance to reflect on our cycles of growth, change, and rebirth. Whether it is letting go of old habits, setting new intentions for the coming months, or simply recognizing the inevitable flow of life and death. The spiritual significance of Halloween reminds us that change is a constant part of life. Whether you're lighting a jack-o'-lantern, dressing up in a costume, or simply enjoying the festive spirit, take a moment to appreciate the spiritual energy that flows through Halloween. It is the night where the past and the present come together, where the spiritual and physical worlds collide, and where we're reminded of life's greatest mysteries. Halloween may be filled with costume, candy, and spooky decorations, but underneath it all, this holiday holds a deep spiritual significance. From its ancient roots in Celtic festival of Shaolin to the modern-day celebration of Halloween, it is a time to honor the dead, reflect on life's cycles, and embrace both the darkness and the light. As we celebrate this rich festival, let us remember the lessons of our ancestors, honor those who have come before us, and embrace the darkness of winter with hope and light for the future. By honoring our senses with any or all of these traditions, we prepare ourselves to open the gateway to thanksgiving for the blessings of life. So, in closing, I would like to leave you with these final thoughts from two of the great personages, St. Francis of Assisi. God made me an instrument of your peace. The last line reads, "It is in dying that we are born into eternal life." And Buddhism, the philosophy of enlightenment, breaking free from the cycle of death and rebirth. Both means that when we die enough times and truly learn our early lessons, we become free. Namaste. Happy Sunday to everyone.